Note: educational content only, not medical advice. Always consult your doctor, especially if you have kidney disease or take diuretics, ACE inhibitors, or potassium-sparing medications. Introduction. Every 5 minutes, another senior is rushed to the ER with swollen legs, puffy hands, or shortness of breath caused by fluid retention. Yet in many of these cases, the underlying problem isn't only heart failure or kidney disease. It's a quiet potassium deficiency. Potassium is the body's natural counterbalance to sodium, the mineral that pulls water into your tissues. Without enough potassium, sodium wins, and your ankles, fingers, and even your face pay the price. The good news? You don't need expensive pills or harsh water tablets to restore balance. In this video, we'll count down 8 potassium-rich foods, ranked from helpful to life-changing, that can drain fluid, reduce bloating, and support your heart after 60. We'll keep it human, practical, and doctor-informed, with real stories and simple prep tips you can use today. Number 8. Pistachios. Pistachios may look like nothing more than a simple snack, but don't underestimate them. For many seniors, these little green nuts could be the difference between swollen ankles that ache by evening and feet that actually feel comfortable in your shoes. For decades, pistachios carried a bad reputation because the versions sold in stores are often roasted with loads of salt. But here's what most people don't know. The nut itself isn't the problem. In fact, unsalted pistachios are one of the most potassium-rich foods you can eat. Doctors often remind their older patients that diet changes don't need to be complicated. A handful of pistachios every day may do more for swelling than some products. And without side effects, just 1 cup of pistachios contains over 1,000 milligrams of potassium, which is more than double what you'd get from a banana. Potassium is your body's natural counterbalance to sodium. While sodium pulls water into your tissues, potassium helps your kidneys push it back out. Think of it like a seesaw. When sodium goes up, swelling happens. But when potassium rises, your body finds balance again. Geriatric specialists often call a potassium-rich diet nature's water pill because it helps keep swelling down without overtaxing the heart or kidneys. Imagine you've been on your feet all day, maybe walking at the park or cooking for your family. By evening, your ankles feel heavy, your socks leave deep impressions, and your legs almost feel like they belong to someone else. That's sodium at work, but adding potassium-rich snacks like pistachios tips the scale in your favor. When you replace sodium with potassium, fluid doesn't get trapped, it gets flushed. This is why many cardiology teams encourage seniors to watch potassium intake as closely as sodium. Small, steady increases in daily potassium from food are often associated with noticeably less puffiness in under 2 weeks. That's less time than most people keep a bottle of swelling cream in their bathroom. Pistachios make hitting useful daily amounts effortless. Just 1 modest serving moves you meaningfully in the right direction. Clinicians often note that potassium's effect shows up faster than patients expect, which is why dietitians put it near the top of food-first strategies for edema and bloating. But here's where many people go wrong. They buy roasted, salted pistachios. Unfortunately, that extra sodium undoes the very thing you're trying to fix. The more salt you add, the more water your body holds onto. If you're serious about reducing swelling, always buy unsalted pistachios. Dietitians often tell their patients, don't fear the nut, fear the salt. By choosing unsalted versions, you get all the benefits without feeding the sodium trap. So how much should you eat? A small handful, about 30 grams or 1 ounce, is all it takes. That's roughly 40 to 45 pistachios. You don't need to overdo it because your body absorbs potassium best in moderate doses. Many clinicians recommend spreading potassium-rich foods throughout the day, rather than eating them all at once. Enjoy pistachios mid-morning, as a light afternoon snack or sprinkled over salads. Pair them with a glass of water to help your kidneys flush sodium more effectively. Let me tell you about Richard, a 74-year-old retired teacher. He loved pistachios but stopped eating them years ago, worried the salt was raising his blood pressure. When his clinician suggested trying unsalted pistachios instead, he started snacking on a handful every afternoon. Within just 10 days, Richard noticed something remarkable. His shoes didn't feel tight in the evenings anymore, and the deep sock marks around his ankles began to fade. For him, pistachios weren't just a snack, they were relief. Number 7. Apricots. Apricots may look small and delicate, but they're nutrient powerhouses hiding in plain sight. Many seniors think of apricots as just a sweet snack, but clinicians often point out that dried apricots are one of the most concentrated sources of potassium you can eat. This matters because potassium deficiency is more common in older adults than people realize. Medications like diuretics, some laxatives, and certain blood pressure pills can quietly strip potassium from the body, leaving you vulnerable to swelling, cramps, and even irregular heartbeats. Adding apricots back into the diet can be a simple, natural way to restore balance without relying solely on pills. Here's the stunning part. Just half a cup of dried apricots contains more than 1,100 milligrams of potassium, a serious dose packed into a handful of fruit. To put that into perspective, a medium banana has around 400 milligrams. That means apricots give you nearly 3 times the potassium in a smaller portion. Clinicians often recommend them to patients who struggle to eat large meals, but still need a potassium boost. If your appetite isn't what it used to be, apricots can deliver nutrition without overwhelming your plate. Why does this matter for swelling? When sodium levels climb too high, fluid gets pulled into your tissues, puffing up ankles, hands, and even your face. Potassium flips the switch. It tells your kidneys to let go of sodium, and with sodium goes the trapped water. That's why seniors who add apricots to their meals often report less puffiness in their cheeks, slimmer ankles, and a lighter feeling in their body. It isn't magic, it's the biology of balance at work. Reports from diet programs and clinical practice often note visible improvements within a week when potassium intake rises from food. People mention easier mornings, rings slipping on again, and less facial puffiness after sleep. In addition to comfort, better fluid balance supports mobility. Walking feels easier when your legs aren't weighed down. It's a small change with benefits you can feel quickly, which motivates people to keep going. Here's a clinician's tip most people don't know. Soak dried apricots overnight in water. This simple step rehydrates the fruit, lowers the concentration of natural sugars, and can make potassium more comfortable on sensitive stomachs. It's like unlocking the nutrients before you even take a bite. Many older adults say soaked apricots are gentler on digestion, especially first thing in the morning. Skip this, and you may miss out on the full effect. Number 6. Celery. Celery is often dismissed as diet food, the kind of thing you only see on a veggie tray at a party. But clinicians are quick to point out that this humble stalk is more powerful than it looks, especially for seniors dealing with swelling and bloating. Celery is loaded with potassium, but that's just the beginning. It also contains natural plant compounds called phthalates, which can help relax blood vessels and support kidney filtration. That combination makes celery not just a snack, but a natural fluid draining tool hiding in plain sight. A single medium stalk of celery contains around 250 milligrams of potassium. On its own, that might not sound impressive compared to other foods on this list, but what makes celery special is how it works in combination. The potassium helps balance sodium, while the phthalates act like a natural nudge toward drainage. Geriatric clinicians often tell their patients that celery is a 2-for-1 deal. You get the nutrient benefit plus a built-in circulation boost. For seniors seeking a food that does the heavy lifting without fancy preparation, celery is a quiet superstar. Here's what happens when you eat celery. These compounds gently relax blood vessels, making it easier for your heart to pump and for your kidneys to filter. The potassium then helps pull sodium out of your bloodstream, carrying excess fluid with it. This can mean less pressure on your ankles, less puffiness in your hands, and relief from that heavy, tired leg feeling by evening. It's why many care teams recommend adding celery to weekly meals, especially if swelling is a persistent issue. Observational programs in older adults often note visible changes in a matter of days when celery is added consistently. People report lighter legs, reduced sock marks, and easier evening walks. While results vary, the pattern is encouraging. Foods that combine potassium plus gentle vascular support can be uniquely helpful for fluid balance. Celery is an easy way to test that in your own routine. But here's where many people make a mistake. Juicing celery. Celery juice has become trendy, but juicing removes the fiber, which is one of the most important parts. Fiber slows down sodium absorption and helps your body keep potassium working longer. Without it, you can lose a big part of the benefit. Number 5. Watermelon. Watermelon is often thought of as just a sweet summer treat, the kind you enjoy at picnics or family barbecues. But many nutrition programs now highlight watermelon as a powerful choice for seniors dealing with swelling and fluid retention. Its combination of water, potassium, and an amino acid called citrulline makes it a triple threat against puffiness and bloating. In fact, some clinicians call watermelon nature's hydration and circulation booster because it doesn't just quench thirst, it supports your bodies to release sodium and excess fluid. 1 cup of watermelon contains around 320 milligrams of potassium, which is more than most people expect from such a light, juicy fruit. But here's where watermelon stands out. It's over 90% water, which means it hydrates while delivering potassium at the same time. This dual action can make it easier for your kidneys to filter out sodium, exactly what you want if your ankles or hands swell by evening. Care teams often remind patients that dehydration can worsen swelling. Hydrating foods like watermelon address both issues at once. The amino acid citrulline is another hidden gem in watermelon. Citrulline helps support relaxed blood vessels, which improves circulation and can take pressure off the heart. Better circulation means your kidneys receive steady blood flow. When kidneys are well perfused, fluid doesn't linger in tissues as easily. Some clinicians recommend watermelon as part of a gentle, food-first approach to easing mild blood pressure elevations alongside swelling. People who add 2 cups of watermelon daily for a week or two often report lighter hands and ankles and easier mornings. While everyone is different, the combination of hydration, potassium, and citrulline makes watermelon uniquely helpful when salty meals or hot weather cause puffiness. It's a reminder that everyday foods can offer fast comfort without complicated rules, especially when eaten consistently. But here's something many seniors miss. Eating watermelon by itself, especially on an empty stomach, can cause blood sugar spikes. While watermelon is low in calories, it still contains natural sugars. That's why dietitians suggest pairing it with a little protein or healthy fat. For example, enjoy watermelon cubes with a small handful of almonds or top them with Greek yogurt. This slows digestion, prevents sugar crashes, and lets your body focus on absorbing the potassium. Number 4. White beans. White beans might not sound glamorous, but they're among the most potassium-dense everyday foods. Many seniors overlook beans because they think of them as heavy or hard to cook, yet they can be one of the most powerful and affordable ways to support healthy fluid balance. They feature prominently in heart-smart eating patterns like DASH, which is known to help blood pressure and kidney health. White beans stand out because they deliver a large amount of potassium and release it slowly, helping your body maintain balance throughout the day. A single cup of cooked white beans contains over 1,180 milligrams of potassium, nearly 1/3 of the daily recommended intake for most adults. To match that, you'd need almost 3 bananas. Unlike many fruits, white beans are also high in fiber and protein, which means they don't spike blood sugar and instead provide long-lasting energy. Dietitians often say beans are slow medicine, quiet, steady support for sodium-potassium balance. Here's why that matters. Swelling doesn't usually appear all at once. It builds as sodium levels climb during the day, ankles by noon, tight shoes by evening, and heavy legs by bedtime. Because white beans release potassium slowly, they act like a steady drip of relief, countering the sodium load hour by hour. That's why many clinicians recommend beans as part of lunch or dinner. The potassium keeps working while sodium from processed foods tries to creep up. Number 3. Coconut water. Coconut water isn't just a tropical refreshment for many seniors. It can be a practical, food-first hydrator. It's often called nature's electrolyte drink because its mineral profile is friendly to human physiology. Unlike sodas or many sports drinks that are loaded with sugar and artificial ingredients, coconut water is naturally rich in potassium and magnesium. That makes it valuable for older adults who experience swelling, bloating, or dehydration. Instead of reaching for a sugary beverage, coconut water offers a refreshing way to support sodium balance and fluid release. 1 cup of pure coconut water contains over 600 milligrams of potassium, which is a sizable amount considering how light it feels. For people who struggle to chew certain foods or have limited appetite, coconut water can be an effortless way to raise potassium without heaviness. Clinicians sometimes suggest it to patients who find it hard to eat large meals, but still need to replenish electrolytes, especially during hot months when heat can make swelling worse. Number 2. Steamed spinach. When most people think of spinach, they think of iron. But clinicians point out that spinach's hidden superpower is actually its potassium content, especially when cooked the right way. 1 cup of lightly steamed spinach delivers around 840 milligrams of potassium, almost double a banana. That's a big deal for seniors dealing with swelling, bloating, or high blood pressure. Spinach is one of the easiest, most affordable foods to add to your meals, and the benefits go far beyond fluid relief. Here's the catch. Raw spinach, as healthy as it looks in a salad, doesn't give you nearly as much potassium as you might think. Spinach is loaded with oxalates, natural plant compounds that can block your body's ability to absorb potassium. Clinicians often say, don't stop eating spinach raw, but if you want the potassium punch, steam it. Just 1 to 2 minutes of light steaming breaks down those oxalates, unlocking potassium and making it available for your body to use. Number 1. Avocado. Avocados often get labeled as a trendy food for younger folks, but clinicians are quick to say seniors may benefit from them the most. Why? Avocados are rich in potassium, yet low in sugar and packed with healthy fats. The perfect combination for older adults concerned with swelling, blood pressure, or muscle cramps. 1 medium avocado contains nearly 975 milligrams of potassium, making it a top food for fluid balance. Unlike many fruits, avocados are gentle on blood sugar, which is especially helpful if you have diabetes or insulin resistance. Clinicians sometimes describe avocados as a slow-release potassium food. Unlike bananas or juices, where potassium enters the bloodstream quickly and leaves just as fast, the healthy fats in avocados slow digestion. That means potassium stays in your system longer, providing a steady effect throughout the day. Swelling builds gradually. Avocados help keep balance steady. It's one reason many dietitians prefer potassium from foods like avocado over large supplement doses. Closing wrap-up and call to action. Which food will you try first? Have you ever had swelling so uncomfortable it scared you? Tell us in the comments. We read and reply to every single one. If this helped you, tap like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs relief today. Simple foods, steady habits, that's how we thrive after 60.